Okay, I'm gonna start the demo off by showing that my flipper's connected, and I deleted everything inside of sub gigahertz. What in the world is it? Here, yeah, it's all gone. So if I try to open something on it, it's does not like. Oh, what the? Okay, it doesn't like it. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a flippy new. I'm gonna call it a demo. You get to choose your firmware that you want. I'm just going to use Unleashed. I'm already on the developer version, but I'm going to go to release for this, create, yes. Now, since the sub gigahertz directory is gone, I'm going to run, which will flippy firmware update. Okay, you got to, for all the commands, you got to be in the directory. So this will install the firmware I just selected for it. And I already downloaded it. It's just copying all the files onto the flipper. It's just copying all the files over right now. Should be a small update. Okay, I see this. You click yes. It on my side it did reboot the flipper, and I'm just gonna have to wait for it to come back. So I'll just wait. It's like halfway there. This thing's pretty fast. Almost done. It's just it says extracting resources. Okay, it did reboot. Now I'm going to open QFlipper again to show the screen, and you can see that it has updated. We can go to sub gigahertz, and it does not give the warning anymore. Go back to the file system for it. And now the assets directory there, which has all the files that subgigahertz needs. So I'm going to disconnect that and reboot the flipper. So QFlipper no longer holds a serial connection to it. Now we can go, we're back in our demo directory. We can, first we're going to add a new repository. So I like this one. It has a bunch of just random files for the flipper. For this demo, we're gonna use subgigahertz and vehicles because it's really small. This whole thing's like 10 gigabytes. I don't want to download that. So we're just going to use vehicles. So we're going to copy this and then run flippy repo add boom. We're gonna call it repository. Oopsie. Oh wait, never mind. I added it. It's fine. Um, then we're going to just choose what files we want to actually download and include. So this is the name of the repository, and we want to include just this. So we can go back here, paste it in, and we only want the end of .sub. That's just the name of all these things. Those are like that's the Flipper's file format, and we only want that because for some of them they have like markdown readmes and documentations. We don't want that. I'm just gonna copy this, and it maps it. Now where's all this go? It actually goes into a file called flip.toml, and this is just the name of the flip, the firmware URL for all the repositories and all the mappings. You can exclude certain files. So if you wanted to like include like everything in here, but you did not want to include vehicles, you'd put this in there and put the full version in include. So I'm going to leave this. Then I am going to actually download the repository we just added. So you run this. It's gonna take a while because it actually downloads the entire repository and then filters it. This is well, you'll see why later, but this is gonna take a bit. It takes like 50 seconds, but yeah, we'll wait. Okay, it's almost done right now. She's writing it to disk, and now it's done. So if we actually look at the file structure of this, it is in a directory called store that has, this is the firmware we downloaded, and this is the repository. We saw the ID of this in here, same ID here, same ID here. If you actually go into, it's just the repository that we downloaded from here. So all the same files. So now we're going to actually transfer the files because that just downloaded it here. So we're going to run flippy upload. So this first run, it says that the sync file didn't exist because it's our first time. It says ignore it if it's your first time. Now we're just gonna run it again. So it did a diff of our the local file system for the flipper and the actual flipper. It communicated to it and found all the differences. So if we perform the operations, it's going to copy 35 files, make 13 directories, and remove nothing. So we do yes. It's gonna do all the operations. For larger things, this takes a bit, but normally pretty fast if you're just copying tiny files. Okay, now it's done. We can check QFlipper now. Go back. We can see that all the files are now there. So Honda, all these, they're all now in here. Say you wanted to preserve the original directory structure of this. You didn't want it to just be this, but you actually wanted it to be including sub-gigahertz too. Just like this whole directory structure, but you only want this here, so it'd be sub-gigahertz slash vehicles instead of just vehicles and everything's dumped in there. what you can do is first delete the sync file. I haven't implemented the thing that does this, but when you delete this, it desyncs them. So next time you run Flippy, it will do a full diff and manually remove and copy every file without checking Git, because at the start it actually uses the Git repo. The sync file stores a hash, like a comment hash, and it just doesn't have to do as many operations to do a full diff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to copy everything from sub gigahertz. We can go back to our toml file, and instead of just vehicles, we're going to do everything. And we're going to exclude, I'm just going to pick these. They are really big, except we're going to do everything. So we're not going to exclude anything. We're just going to dump them all in here, see how it goes. I've never actually tried this, so now it's written to disk. Just run flippy upload. You don't have to download anything, again, because we already have it downloaded. It gives you the warning that the sync file is not there. Just run it again. That was actually pretty fast. It did the entire diff in like half a second. So it's gonna do 11,000 things. Yeah, I'm just gonna see how this goes. Yeah, it's not gonna take that long. I mean, it's going. Yeah, we're just gonna wait. I'll be back. This is going way better than I expected. I thought it'd like crash halfway through. So far it's almost 1,000. Got 10K to go, or 12K almost. I tried to fix this thing with the progress bar. I don't know. I think it's because it logs one of these every time and it just goofs it up. It's fine. It works. That's all I really care about. Um, while we wait, I could have actually sped this up a lot because I could have excluded certain things like this. Um, it yeah, has a lot of files. This would probably take away maybe 2,000. There's more like that though, but I'm going all in. I don't actually need any of them, but I'm probably gonna delete it after. Just stress testing it. I think I could stop it, but I do not want to risk anything. And I think I'd just cancel it, and then I'd have to manually clean up what it failed to do, and then restart the flipper. I don't think it'd break anything. Be annoying though. Whatever. I'm gonna do it. Part of testing. Part of testing it. Okay, I'm going to just Control C, and then now I'm gonna go back to Q flipper. It's alive. That's good. So I'm gonna delete the sync file again, and back in. Actually, that's a good idea to show this feature. So when it actually does the diffs of the things, I'm gonna get rid of this. I want to exclude that. Very big. When it actually does the diffs, it will go in and check for existing files if they changed. The flipper has a built-in way to see the MD5 hash of things, and my program will calculate that. So I'm going to exclude. What's it called? We're gonna get rid of the big one. Was it touch tunes? Yeah, this. As Tom so I can format it. Gotta get a few more in here. We're gonna get rid of the garages, miscellaneous. This, I don't even know what that is. That was DEF CON. There's an LED. A lot. This should be enough to make it. Oh, jamming. That's big too. Has to include every single combination. I think it's enough. Yeah, probably reduce it by a couple thousand. So I did clean everything. I'm going to restart the flipper so it cleans up its RPC cache. Then rerun this. Oh yeah, this is it checking the diffs of every file. So it calculates the MD5 hash for both of them. I might want to clean up the logs here, but yeah, it checks the MD5 hash for both files, and if they match, it's a little check mark. Shows local hash, which is, yeah, and it's done. Yeah, that normally doesn't take that long. So yeah, we reduced it from 11,000 to 1,000. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. So if any of these were different, it would remove it and then replace it. And if there are directories that shouldn't have existed, it will delete the directories. I can show that. Yeah, it's gonna be much faster now. I might want to add like a sub progress bar to show. Ooh, I should have got rid of brute forcing. That's a big one too. Yeah, these files are a couple megabytes. But I should have shown a progress bar like per file if it's big enough. Like this one would probably be like halfway by now. Yeah, it's a big file. Oh, there it goes. Looks like it's speeding up now. Still on brute forcing though. We're almost halfway there. Actually, we're almost. We're currently like a fourth. I'm thinking of adding instead of writing to the flipper through the flipper when the flipper uses like a low power mode of the SD card. I was thinking you could just write directly to the SD card. I might add that as a feature later. It would probably be like done 5 times by now if we were using the fast version of the SD card. But I mean, if you just let this run for like maybe an hour, if you were to do all 11,000, it'd probably finish. Or just like exclude like brute forcing, get all the big files out of there. Like if it was just like this, it wouldn't really be that much of a problem. But this does a lot. They're like are like a couple kilobytes. That's also because of like the flipper. It uses like plain text for the files instead of like a binary format. Like it actually types out the numbers instead of like using the binary encoding. It's dumb, but I mean it's meant it's meant to be tinkered with on device, so can't really deny that. I'll probably edit all this out anyways. It's gonna take a while. Oh, we've been going for 30 minutes. Yeah, I feel bad for the freaking Summer of Making people who are gonna have to review this. Rest in peace. Wait, yo, someone's here. Yo! Hi. We got a viewer. Let's go. Oh, that's funny. Someone actually joined. Hi. The stream is like, I think it's like 30 seconds behind. So I set it to have like well, it doesn't have a delay, but it's just not fast because I just want quality on the video. I guess it's a terminal, it doesn't matter, but whatever. Yeah, do the contest. It's like almost how oh, it's been going for 30 minutes. Yeah, it's almost done. Yeah, throughout this whole time, it's still been on brute forcing. This is wild. And I should have excluded. Actually, no, it makes a good point for the demo. I can show how it can remove files. Con, I have to wait for them all to come. I have to wait for them all to get added. I don't even know what's the point of brute forcing. I'm gonna check it. Was in gates. Brute. Oh, it just opens gates. That's nice. Peek. We're just gonna open people's gates. I can do that now. Bonus feature. Hurt my finger to scroll all the way back up. Oh, you're gonna use this? Yeah, could be useful. Yo, someone else here, yeah. Wait, hold up. There's three. Amazing. This is amazing gameplay. Welcome to the demo, guys. We've been going strong for 30 minutes. For all the new viewers, we're currently copying files from a GitHub repository to a Flipper. Flippy is a software which updates firmware and copies files for a Flipper Zero on a computer. Reason we're not using QFlipper is because you can really only do the official firmware from there, and it is a pain to copy like folders. You can't really do that manually. You gotta add the folder and add each individual file. It sucks. This does that for you. Pretty useful. That's why I made it. Okay, we're almost like a 2/3 there. It's still copying the freaking brute forcing files. Oh, I should have excluded that. Whatever. Stream would have been done if I didn't. Got a few viewers. How y'all doing? It's picking up. Hope y'all get a flipper from the summer of making. That'd be cool. You know, or I could just get, or I could just get two. Nah, what'd you even do with two? I don't even know what to do with mine. The one I have. I've just been building this with it. And it's kind of useful. I stole the like badges for all the places I go on there. Oh my, yeah, this slows your. Yeah, you can't really use your flipper while this is happening. It's like really slow. Um, yeah, I'd just rather not. Oh God, it's so laggy. Big thing I use it for is a universal remote. I Every time I go to a hotel, they never have the remote, so I just keep it on there. Ooh, it's also really fun. You go into like a public restaurant that has a bunch of TVs. Boop, they're all on. That's getting there. I've never let it run this long before, so I think I've only copied like 10 files max. I now see the need for a faster writing of the SD card. Um, it's slow because there's a lot of the, let me show you. In here we got, it's copying all of these, and these all have some bad luck. A lot of these have a ton of files. I think there's over 11,000 in this whole, in just whole folder, but we're copying all of them minus a few. Um, it's really just stuck on the gates because the files are not big. It's just a lot of them, and the flipper, when it copies files through its RPC, instead of you just taking out the SD card directly, it sends it all over like USB serial instead of, that's just a bit slower. And it also uses a low power mode of the SD card. There's two modes for SD cards to write in. One's faster, one's slower. Yeah, let me check on it. Gets closer, but yeah. So if I wrote directly to the SD, if I took like the SD card out, plugged it into my computer, and wrote to it, it'd be a way of a hells faster. I said a while ago when it was like back at like 10%, it would have been done by 5 times. um, in the time it took to do this, I think I did copy the entire repository because I plugged it into my laptop and I dragged it directly to the SD card. I copied this entire repository to it in about like 40 minutes. So this isn't really the way to go besides copying small files. But I really only designed this so you do this once, and then it doesn't actually do this all the time. It's just whenever the maintainers of the repository change something, it does a git diff, and it actually knows what files it changed. So instead of copying the whole thing again, say they changed this to 2, it would only know this file changed and then recopy this file. So it'd be really fast. I can show that. I can make a comment to it. Commit. I don't think it's done anything else besides this one folder. That one folder is big. How big is this one file? 2.81 megabytes. I think I saw it going at 80 kilobytes a second. That's how it actually sustains these reads. It has to send pings every once in a while because if you're just writing to it and you're not reading it, it gets kind of mad because the serial connection will die because it will hit a timeout. So you got to send pings every once in a while to restore the connection to it. So it just assumed it's going at 50, but my measurement said it was going at 80. I can probably enable the debugging mode of this and it'll show it. Yeah, no, it showed it when it was writing the firmware file. I can show that again, but it says how fast the speed is. This one's three megabytes. I think this is the big one. Oh, and they're all like a megabyte. It takes so long to load. What's this one? There's zip. Oh, there's zip files. That's not fun. That means it's big. Never mind. Why is it a zip file? Oh, I think there's only a tiny bit. How big's the zip file? 9 megabytes. Wow. Okay. Still copying them. This probably would have been done 20 minutes ago if I excluded this directory from the config. What do I call it? Demo. Yeah, man, I made this really big. Yeah. Yeah, so if I can put that in here. Oh, yeah, wait, yeah. Oh, I'm kind of dumb. I should have done this. This would have probably would have saved some time too. You gotta get all the subdirectories. It's picking up speed, except I don't know. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, fix itself. Yeah, we're almost there. Yeah, I should have excluded that. I'm gonna show it. It's green. I'm gonna show it removing the files next. It won't actually remove them if I just put it in here because technically it's just not gonna look at them again. So you're gonna have to remove it from the flipper manually. Oh, it's out of this. So you just have to delete that manually. I can show yeah, I can show it doing deletion if I delete it from my local repository. If I make a local commit to it, I can show I gotta remove this though. I'll just comment it out, but I can show that getting removed. And it is almost done. Got 6 to go. What even is this? Weather stations. Numbers, wow. And 1,705 files have been copied. So, we're going to clear this. And now I can show you that yeah, it has all the files. Go here. Boom, bada bing, bada bang. Has everything. And everything from vehicles. This is now in vehicles instead of just in here. Much better. I'm now going to show removing a file by committing to the local repository. So if we go into store, we saw from the config that this is the ID of our repository. Go to the 6th one. Go. We can actually go into subgigahertz and delete. What was it? Gates brute forcing. gone now. Then we can run flippy upload again, and it is going to, oh, we did not commit the changes. Go back here, git add dot. Okay, then we can run flippy upload again. It immediately detects 971 files are going to get nuked, and run it is much faster. So yeah, all that past 20 minutes is just gone now, but it was way faster to move. And adding individual files, say I go back and just add a new file, will be really fast. That's basically it for Flippy. Is the command interface again. There is another command on store called clean. It will just delete the local things. So flippy store clean, boom. It's just empty now, just deletes everything in there. Yeah, that's basically it.